Can see you come bearing gifts.
It's only one.
Of course I know it's not mine.
Kama uneki orumojo ujipage. Economy ni baya wewe.
We need to persuade her to sell our shares. I mean, everything. Good luck with that.
And to think Mama Paul would have instilled some manners in you by now.
Unlike you, Mama Paul has a beautiful soul.
Utarudiki kwenye umetoka unasikia?
Aunt Cassie.
Yes.
When was the last time you spoke to Dad?
I'm here and he's not.
Why not? What's wrong with it? Everyone at the hotel already knows that we're a couple.
Because the hotel is our place of work.
You were the brat that bullied me in school when my parents were killed.
I'm so sorry, but I really don't remember.
But I remember it all.
Fortunately, it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's too painful for her and for all of us here as well.
If I don't see you back at work first thing tomorrow, you can go find another job. But Mrs. Lee here, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Bringing the clock and the gun to come and shut the youth them heart. Better and red. When you all a look, they wanna see bread. I hear an ex you dead. Whoa. Chatty, Mount Damasi, mix up. Why you no leave people business? I said below people business. Good God, I tell you about. Now so who need another lover? I don't even have to bother. I found it in you. Now I feel brand new.
It's been a long time. We don't have no vibe like this. Play the music again.
Ili kupata skiza tune hii ya joking kwa simu yako, bonyeza *811 *758#.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Mr. Tiptoe.
Now I want to try the composition using the word jogging.
Teacher, please give us spelling for the word jogging.
Sijasema jog ile jog ya kunyongwa. Hapana. Ninasema jogging. Na sijasema jog ile nje unasema jog ya kukimbia ya marathon ama ile jog ingine ile jog ya television ya kucheka. Sijasema hiyo jogging na maanisha jogging your brain ile kukimbiza akili ya changamoto. That's the composition using the word jogging.
Ili kupata skiza tune hii, bonyeza *811 *758# *811 *758#.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the broadcast. This is Lunchtime News and we're glad that you're joining us this afternoon. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. Remember, you can interact with us on our social media handles at KBC Channel 1 or at Jackie Wambiru. Now, to kick us off, Irene Machuma is on standby in the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani, where preparations on the swearing-in ceremony of President-elect William Ruto and his Deputy President-elect Rigathi Gachagua are underway. Remember, the swearing-in ceremony is set to be held on Tuesday next week. Irene Machuma, if you can hear me, kindly bring us to speed on the preparations.
System where you are doing an knowledge mark or dipping. Wambiru, good afternoon. We're coming to you live from the Moi International Sports Stadium. This is the Kasarani Stadium. This is where we will witness the swearing in of President-elect William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua. The event is supposed to take place Tuesday before 2 p.m. and we are expecting this 60,000 stadium to be filled with Kenyans who would want to witness this historic event. Remember, Wambiru, this will be the third time that we'll be having an inauguration ceremony, a swearing-in ceremony from the Kasarani Stadium. The first one we witnessed in 2013, where the President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto was sworn in, and the same also happened in 2017, where President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto was sworn in from these grounds. But we're not expecting much difference from what's happened in the previous years, though yesterday we were informed by leaders who are in the assumption of the office of the President's Committee, and these leaders are representing the Kenya Kwanza team. In other words, they're representing President-elect William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua. Preparations of this event, and woman representative for Uasin Gishu Gladys Boshole was here together with the Dagoretti South Member of Parliament John Kiarie, who is also the Member of Parliament elect in Dagoretti South. And they told us they are working on a minimum budget now that the country is going through tough times. They may not be able to say how much they're spending towards this event, but as the day goes by, they'll be able to know how much they are putting into this event. And they also stated it very categorically that every preparation should be done by Saturday, this ahead of the Tuesday's event. But Wambiru, let me give you the nitty-gritty of the events that will be taking place here. On these grounds, we have this morning witnessed the military drills. The military was showcasing what they will be doing that Tuesday. And behind me, we have 4 flag posts. These posts, the first and the second one, is where we will see the pulling down of one flag, which will be for President Uhuru Kenyatta, and that will be on the first post. The second post will be having the hoisting of flag, one for the incoming president, William Ruto, and right from where we are having many activities with the military having a gathering, that is where the swearing-in ceremony will take place. The Kasarani Stadium, these grounds is where we will be having the military moving around, showcasing their drills, and we have entertainment people who will also be gathered here. And if I just give you one or two things that I've been able to see this morning, we have been able to see varied groups making their way here, not only to see the military drills, but also to prepare themselves ahead of the Tuesday event. This also includes the media, who are able to make their way here to see where they'll be placing their equipment come Tuesday. And one of the key events that we're expecting to see on Tuesday will be the gun salute. Traditionally, Wambiru, swearing-in ceremony will see the firing in of 21 gun salutes. And it's not only the event that we normally see 21 gun salutes being taking place in an event, but also when we have a dignitary from a different country. For instance, the Prime Minister will be having a ceremony that will see the firing of 21 gun salute, and also a funeral ceremony of a sitting president will also have 21 gun salute. But for a ceremony that will see the burial ceremony of a former sitting president, will see the firing of 19 gun salute. So the military have been here, and they have assured us that for them, they will be ready when they are called upon. When we were expecting security to be heightened, and yesterday we had a closed-door meeting of security officers being chaired by the County Commissioner of Nairobi, Moffat Kangi, who said that everything is in place, and today, this afternoon, we're expecting him to give us a briefing. This as at the same time we're expecting leaders from Kenya Kwanza, who are representing their leaders in the assumption of the office of the President's Committee, to also give us a brief on so far how far we have come this as we look to Tuesday's events. Wambiru?
Well, that was our reporter Irene Machuma giving us an update on the preparations that are currently underway at the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani on the swearing-in ceremony of President-elect William Ruto and his deputy-elect Rigathi Gachagua. We shall be giving you more details as we proceed. For now, we move to Parliament buildings, where following the appointment of the date of the first sitting of the Senate, Senator-elects are attending the pre-swearing-in sessions to be held within the main Parliament buildings. And our reporter O'Brien Kimani has been the man on the ground and will give us more details. Now, O'Brien, kindly bring us to speed.
Well, that's right, Jacqueline Wambiru, back there in Broadcasting House. We're here at the Parliament buildings, where the members of Senate who have just been elected into that position are being oriented, or what they are calling the pre-swearing-in induction process that is started at about 9 in the morning. It's a process that is expected to go on until 3:30 p.m. and the expectation of the Senate is that the 47 members of Senate-elect who have been inducted or taken through the process of induction so far. I'm being informed that 28 senators-elect have been taken through this process, and so far they're still waiting for the others. And the whole plan is to ensure that all the elected senators have been taken through this orientation process. Earlier on, I was talking to the clerk of the Senate, that is Jeremiah Nyangenye, and he was telling me that they're also expecting the other 20 nominated members of Senate from various political parties, and if that list comes today, then the others will be inducted, and so all the 60 senators will have to be inducted today. But if that does not happen today, then they are going to set aside another day where that will be done. So far, the process has been good, and I have a list of the documents that senators-elect are supposed to bring for registration, and one of the documents is the original national identity card or passport, the IEBC certificate of election, the 4 recent colored passport size photographs, biodata, and curriculum vitae, and a copy of KRA PIN certificate. So those are how many documents? Those are 5 documents that each senator-elect is supposed to come with, so that they can be registered or they can be inducted in this process. So some of the processes that they are being taken through is how to register or how to conduct yourself inside the chamber, how to get yourself, how to get your biodata captured into the IT system. They're also being inducted on the various allowances that are accorded by the Senate, as well as the loan facilities and how to become a member of the 2 circles that exist in this place, and the benefits of being a member of those 2 circles. So those are some of the issues that they are being inducted here. Later on, we're expecting to have a briefing with the clerk of the Senate, that is Jeremiah Nyangenye. Is expected to brief us on who exactly has provided their documentation for the position of the Speaker of the House. This has been an issue of contestation, and of course, so we expect this to be concluded tomorrow. Remember, the swearing in of members of Senate is expected to take place tomorrow, including members of the National Assembly, and so tomorrow is also going to be another very busy day here at the National Assembly. So the process is still ongoing, and as you can see behind me, it is not as busy as you would expect, because again, the Senate doesn't have so many members. You're talking about 47 elected and 13 who are nominated, and so that's why it may look slow, but the process is ongoing. I was telling you that so far 28 senators-elect have been inducted. They are still going through the motion, and there are about 7 processes that they have to go through, and I have just taken you through those processes. And so that is what we are watching over here. Some of the people I have seen here is Kisumu Senator-elect, that is Professor Tom Ojenda. I've also seen the Tana River Senator-elect, that is Danson Mongatana. I've also seen the Senator-elect for Machakos, Ms. Kavindu, among many other people, among many other senators who have just trooped in here. Also Busia Senator-elect, that is Okia Omutata, he's also here. Actually, he's not yet through. I've also seen and interacted with the Senator-elect for Nakuru County, that is Mrs. Oh God, I'm forgetting the name. Tabitha Karanja. Yeah, that's right. So those are some of the people that we have seen here. This process will continue throughout the whole of afternoon, and at about 3:30, 4 thereabouts, it is expected to come to a close. And so we'll keep on watching and updating you on what is happening here. Remember, this is a pre-swearing-in induction process for the members of Senate-elect who are expected to be sworn in tomorrow. And of course, remember, tomorrow we're also keeping it right here to ensure that we give you the coverage that is desired for this very critical exercise. The first business of the day tomorrow is, of course, electing the leaders of the 2 houses, that is the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly. So that's what we have for now. Of course, we could go on and on and on, but I want to take you back to Broadcasting House for other programs. Back to you, Broadcasting House.
Well, that was our reporter, Brian Kimani, giving us an update on the Senator-elect orientation session that is currently underway at the Parliament buildings. Later on, we shall be joining our reporter, Kevin Washira, who is following up. Remember, it is day 3 where interested persons for election as House Speaker and Deputy Speaker continue to express interest by picking nomination papers in person. Remember, some of those who have expressed interest for the Speaker's position as of yesterday were Moses Masika Wetangula, David Mwaure Waihega, Daniel Wanyonyi Opilo, among others. Well, we shall be keeping you updated as we progress. For now, we move on. A caucus of women leaders is now urging President-elect William Ruto to make true his pledge of appointing women to half of his cabinet. The leaders also want Ruto to implement the same formula and pick women in half of the appointments in state corporations and in diplomatic positions.
With the swearing in of the president-elect set for Tuesday next week, Ruto is expected to immediately after settle down to pick members of his administration, including cabinet secretaries, diplomats, and those to occupy positions in state corporations. A caucus of women leaders are now calling on the president-elect to make true his pledge of appointing women to half of his cabinet.
There are women who are credible. There are women who came out to fight for leadership. There are women who came out to be to serve Kenyans, and they have capacity to be able to represent the government in different areas. We have ambassadors.
The caucus, while congratulating Ruto, also thanked Kenyans for maintaining peace and calm during the electioneering period. This, even as members of the clergy called on the president-elect to focus on uniting Kenyans once he is sworn in and solving the myriad of challenges that have plagued the country, including the high cost of living.
Kuangalia sasa, kuna wale ambao wamekupigia kura, kuna wale ambao hawajakupigia, na wote sasa ni watu wako. Kwa hivyo tunakuomba usibebe mtu yoyote, hata kufanya kazi pamoja na kuombeana pamoja na kupendana, kwa sababu ninashukuru kitu kingine kubwa sana.
In Kilifi, leaders affiliated to UDA and the Kenya Kwanza Alliance are calling on Ruto to fully implement his manifesto and make available the Hustlers Fund for the empowerment of economically marginalized groups.
Tunampongeza rais wetu, na pia nikichukua fursa hii kumkumbusha zile ahadi ambazo alikuwa nazo kwa Wakenya kwa ujumla, na hasa sisi wanawake. Tulipokuwa pale Kasarani tulisign women charter, na katika hiyo charter ilikuwa tumesema ya kwamba serikali ikiingia itaangalia 50-50 kwa wanawake.
Hii serikali amechukua kwa wakati mgumu sana, na yale ambayo yako mbele yake ni mazito, Sisi kama Wakenya tunafaa tuje pamoja sasa, tuweke misingi yetu ya kisiasa mbali, tuweze kushirikiana kama jamii moja.
Elsewhere, civil society reference group led by its president David Sidi Otieno has urged the lobby groups to keep the government on toes to deliver on its campaign pledges, among other governance issues.
Those who are elected outside the formation of the government, that they stay in their places and they check the government, because that is why they were elected.
John Jacob Curia, the Lunchtime News.
In other news, parents of a Form 2 student from Wambiru Girls National School in Kitutu Chache who died under mysterious circumstances are demanding an explanation from the institution. The student Yvonne Mora reportedly fell sick and was rushed to hospital in Kisii town, where she was pronounced dead. The school principal has since denied claims that the student passed on while in school.
Mystery continues to surround the death of Yvonne Mora, a Form 2 student at Wambiru Girls National School in Kitutu Chache South Sub-County. According to the family of the deceased, they received information from the school asking them to report immediately since their daughter was critically ill. Upon arrival, the family received the sad news of her demise with allegedly no explanation from the school authorities.
Nilipata simu jana saa 11 asubuhi na deputy akinipigia akiniambia wewe ni mama Yvonne. Nikamwambia ndio. Eti wanafunzi wote wametoka madomu wameenda madarasani. Yvonne amebaki kwa domu kama amelala ongei. Akaniambia tumepeleka Yvonne level 5. Kimbia umuone. Alipigia simu sijui mara ngapi, aliniharakisha sana. Nilipofika kwa shule nikapata shemeji yangu amefika. Akaniambia Jackie pole, Yvonne yuko, Yvonne amekufa. Kwenda kuhusudia nikapata ukweli mtoto wangu amekufa.
Wambiru Girls School Principal Joyce Orioki, while speaking on phone, denied the allegations that the student passed on while in the school dormitory. The family now says it will not proceed with the burial arrangements without establishing the cause of her death and appealed to the government to intervene.
We demanded for an explanation, which we have not been given. We went and reported the mother police, and the police informed us to go there today because the DCI was not available. The school administration has not offered any explanation to the cause of the death of this girl. And this girl has not been having any underlying case that could have caused her sudden death. We suspect there must have been a reason why she died, which must be offered by the school administration.
But we have no way we can proceed without any explanation from the government and the relevant bodies. My wish is that let them come out clearly and tell us the truth of the fact. It's when we can be justified.
The body of the deceased has been moved to the Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital mortuary. Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
And now let's cross over to Parliament buildings, where remember it is day 3, where interested persons for election as House Speaker and Deputy Speaker continue to express interest by picking nomination papers in person. And now we shall be linking up with our reporter Kevin Washira to give us an update on how that is proceeding. Kevin?
Well, thank you very much. With all orientation processes done, now it is all system go ahead of tomorrow's first sitting of the National Assembly and the Senate. Tomorrow, members of the National Assembly and the Senate are expected to be sworn in. The process that will be done by the respective clerks of the houses. Here at the Senate, the process will be done by Jeremiah Nyegenye, who will administer the oath to all the senators elect, as well. And in the National Assembly, the process will be done by acting clerk Sarah Kioko, who will administer the oath to all members of the National Assembly elect. Now, after they are sworn in, members will proceed to elect the House Speaker as well as Deputy Speaker, both here at the Senate as well as in the National Assembly. The process will be done through a secret ballot, and going by the numbers in the National Assembly, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party legally has the majority, but politically Kenya Kwanza Alliance is expected to take the day because they have already wooed the independents as well as some members from small parties that are affiliated to Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party. You know that Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition in the National Assembly commands at least 167 members, while the National Assembly, while the Kenya Kwanza Alliance in the National Assembly commands at least 158 members. Both coalitions will get at least 12 slots for nominations positions, which 6 will go to the United Democratic Alliance, 4 will go to the ODM party, Jubilee Party will get 1, and Wiper Party will get 1 position. Now, in terms of leadership, here at the Senate, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party is fronting former National Assembly Speaker Kenneth Marende to be the Speaker here at the Senate, while Kenya Kwanza is fronting party leader and former Governor for Kilifi, Amason Jeffa Kingi. Now, going by the numbers, it is likely that the next Speaker here at the Senate will be former Governor Jefferson Kingi, because here at the Senate, Kenya Kwanza commands the majority at least by 1. Elect as while Azimio la Umoja commands 23 senators elect. In the National Assembly, it will be interesting to see how the numbers will play, with Azimio having the majority legally, but with Kenya Kwanza having already wooed some of the numbers, maybe their candidate is likely to carry the day. Kenya Kwanza is fronting Moses Wetangula. This is the Bungoma senator elect, while Azimio la Umoja will be fronting Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka. By yesterday, at least 19 applicants had expressed their interest for the position of Speaker at the National Assembly, while 17 applicants had expressed their interest for the position of Senate Speaker. Now, for the Deputy Speaker at the National Assembly, Kenya Kwanza is fronting Uasin Gishu County Woman Representative Gladys Boss-Sholei, who is expected to win given the numbers, while Azimio la Umoja is fronting former Deputy Speaker Farah Maalim. Here at the Senate, Azimio la Umoja is fronting Nyamira Senator-elect Okongo Omogeni, while Kenya Kwanza Alliance here at the Senate will be fronting Meru Senator-elect Kathuri Murungi. We will be keeping tabs to see how the two coalitions will face off in the both houses, and who will be the third in command, that is the National Assembly Speaker, as well as the fourth in command, that is the Senate Speaker. Back to you, studio.
Well, indeed, the Constitution ranks the Speaker of the National Assembly as the third in command after the President and his Deputy. Well, we shall be keeping you updated as we progress. For now, we move on. About 1,000 learners in Kajiado County are believed to have dropped out of school as a result of drought in the county. This coming at a time, the education sector is working to normalize the school calendar. The most affected area is Kajiado South Sub-County, with 400 pupils forced to interrupt their learning due to the ravaging drought in the county. Zainab Said reports.
This has been the situation in most parts of Kajiado County for several months now, affecting locals and their livestock. The situation now affecting the already packed school calendar, with more than 400 pupils from Kajiado's South Sub-County said to be out of school for lack of food, and a total of 1,000 drought-related school dropouts recorded so far.
Baada ya kufanya uchunguzi, tumepata wanafunzi kama 400 hivi hawajaweza kufika shuleni, na hawa ni wanafunzi ambao tunatarajia wao shuleni. Kwa hivyo kwa msingi huu tumefanya mkutano kama huu ili kuweza kupata suluhisho, ili tuone kwamba kila mtoto amepata elimu ambayo serikali inawania aweze kufaulu katika maisha yake.
In a crisis meeting among education stakeholders in Loitok, it was noted that the ongoing drought has affected the school calendar, with most learners from drought-affected areas missing lessons.
Sai ng'ombe ikiletwa ni kama inatupwa tu, manake huko ikiwasea huko kwa ng'ombe zingine inaletea mashida. Kwa hivyo watu wanaleta tu hapa kwa silota ya atupe tu, ni kama ngozi tu unatupa, kwa sababu bei yake inakuta ng'ombe imeweka 1,100 alafu sasa hiyo ng'ombe utashinda hata saa gari mafuta imepanda, utaona hiyo hata ikiitisha gari ya kwenda kuleta hiyo ng'ombe, mtu anaona tu hakuna haja niende tu nichomeke kwa gari juu ile ng'ombe itarudisha hiyo pesa.
Tunaua ng'ombe mingi hapa mnono na ilikuwa na faida. Sasa hii ng'ombe zote zimeisha. Sasa ile kitu tunatoa ni kitu tu kama ngozi, unaleta tu na unatolea ngozi hapa na haina faida na haina usaidizi yote. Sasa ndio ile janga tuko nayo ni hiyo kiangazi. Ng'ombe hii kuleta inakuwa unaleta tu kama ngozi, umeleta kichinjio ajili hiyo ngozi mwenyewe haina faida. Inauza shilingi 20 kwa kilo.
Though the county government has set aside 130 million Kenyan shillings to cushion the affected families and their livestock, education stakeholders are reaching out to well-wishers to intervene by donating foodstuffs. The situation is as a result of depressed rains for the last 2 years, majorly blamed on climate change.
Ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kuomba washikadau kuleta msaada kwa shule, na pia changamoto kubwa kwa wazazi ambao wanaona saa hii ni hakuna chakula, malisho ndio hiyo haiko, ng'ombe ndio hizo zimehama, kwa hivyo inakuwa ngumu hata kwa wazazi kupatia wanafunzi wao. Kama ingewezekana pia mashirika ambayo si ya kiserikali waingililie kati kusaidia wanafunzi na pia wazazi. Na pia ningeomba walimu wakuu wa shule wapardon wazazi kwa wakati huu mgumu, wapatie at least 1 to 2 months ili waeleze kulipa school fees.
Has also resulted to human-wildlife conflict due to the scramble of pasture and water. Zainab Said, Lunchtime News.
Well, that report brings us to our first break here on Lunchtime News. Don't go too far, we still have more news coming up.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Umeliona gazeti la leo?
This is still disturbing.
Hivi ndo wenzako washapatana basi.
Huyo alifika iko.
Ngoja lifunguke. Kwani yuanza yeye kupenda? Atakuachaje siku zote hizo aje akurudie sasa? Yaani hapo hushiki mita.
Nimekupigania sana Leo. Tumepitia mambo mengi sana mimi na wewe. Babangu mimi nitamwambia nini?
Na usijaribu kunidanganya kwa sababu faili niliziona.
Ukiniangalia mimi ni mtu kununua second hand.
You look second hand yourself right now.
Mimi nakaondieka. Niangalie hivi, nakaondieka.
Not with those. Maybe with the tummy. No.
But Tosha.
Huyu hata tujuani. Do you know me?
Are baba. Iko flying lines hapo.
When husband ama ni houseboy? House kwa husband. Nini wewe inakusumbua?
Makoha.
Yes.
Jambo.
Fine, thank you. Oh my God. No. Let me talk the truth and accept the devil, please. Please.
Babyface.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Babyface.
Yeah.
Ulionaje kazi yangu, skills zangu za uzaji zikoaje?
You are excellent.
Wewe mzee.
Hatuko hapa mchezo.
Ni kweli vile hata nani.
Sasa ukisha si uongee vile unaongea.
Welcome back. Now let's proceed. The task force appointed to develop policies and amend the laws on prisoners' amnesty has begun collecting views from the public. Led by the panel chairperson, Dr. Lydia Muriuki, the panel visited Kilifi County to strengthen efforts to involve the public in the final stages of confirming the policies to the people before being sent to Parliament in the next few months.
The panel involved in the making of policies and amending of prisoners' laws led by the chairperson, Dr. Lydia Muriuki, visited Kilifi County. The panel received comments from citizens, government and non-governmental institutions, as well as social groups to fill the existing gaps in the prisoner laws.
Wale wako jela za nje na wananchi wale tunasema foreigners wako katika jela zetu. Hapo mbele hatukuwa na framework ingesaidia kunegotiate for those pardons. Sasa tumekuwa naye na tunasema kama wewe ni mwananchi kutoka nchi zingine ukiwa pardon, yes indeed, for the period ulikuwa uwe kwa jela zetu, ukubaliwi kurudi Kenya tena.
Miaka mitatu amekaa na sisi pale. Ni lazima tueleze huyu mtu tabia yake ilikuwa vipi. Katika kueleza tabia yake ilikuwa ni kivipi, tunahusisha walimu wa dini wale ambao tuko nao. Yeye pia ataandika recommendation yake. Taaluma ile ambayo amejifunza kama ni useremala, kama ni nini.
According to the panel, the public recommendations have already been published.
Tutaenda kwa hizo kaunti zingine na mwisho yale yote mmeleta tutaenda kuiangalia kwa sababu mmechangia kusema tuwe na hata feeder committees za kuchangia. Tutaenda kuangalia hiyo yote, ingine haitaenda kwa policy, haitaenda kwa the bill, lakini itaenda kwa regulations.
The panel also explained that the process of pardoning prisoners being described in detail in the procedures that should be followed, such as the preparation of disciplinary reports and skills acquired by the prisoners while in prison. Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya now claims that over 1.5 million shillings pending bills were left by the previous government. Natembeya pledged to conduct a thorough audit before certifying the payment. Now, the governor also outlined plans to centralize government departments under one roof to ease service delivery to residents.
Speaking while inspecting revenue offices in Trans Nzoia, the governor expressed his concerns over the poor state of county government offices and substandard services being rendered to the public.
Mwananchi wa Kenya ndiye atakuwa mbele, viongozi watakuwa nyuma. Sindio? It applies across, especially elected leaders. Hii mambo ya uheshimiwa mingi inafanya watu wasavu wananchi. So nataka provide service kwa watu wetu kuanzia grassroots.
Natembeya warned county workers over lateness and absenteeism at work, promising to take measures to curb absconding of duties by county officials.
Of course, tumengojea tu wakati county assembly is fully constituted ndio tufanye ile appointment ya senior officers, wale ma chief officers, wale ma CCs. Wakiwa approved basi kazi inaanza mara moja.
The governor also lamented over pending bills that his administration was inheriting, accruing to over 1.5 billion shillings, promising a full audit before processing their payment. The governor also assured residents to ensure prudent use of public funds by his administration, outlining plans to centralize government departments to ease service delivery to residents.
Wale works wako pande ile nyingine, agriculture sio wako pande gani, health sio wako pande gani. Ile headquarter watu wamefinyana hawapumui, imekorogana kabisa. Kuna apart officer amekaa pale amefunikwa na file na mabox. Can't even see them. So hiyo ndio unapata mtu hawezi kupeana huduma mzuri kwa sababu ile mazingira ya kufanya kazi pia sio mazuri. So lazima tuanze na kupata just get the basics right. Na mimi naona ni kwamba lazima tutajenga jengo ile inaitwa county headquarters ambayo itakuwa na maofisa wote. Ukikuja pale kama unataka kutembelea departments kama 5 unazipata zote ziko pale. Ile kama vile kwa huduma center tu.
Trevor Ngendo for Lunchtime News.
Busia Governor Dr. Paul Lutuoma has warned county staff to focus on service delivery for the benefit of residents. Lutuoma further said the county staff will undergo training and orientation on how to ensure the public enjoys the fruits of devolution by proper handling of the public coffers.
Speaking in Busia, Dr. Otuoma warned the county's employees from going against their work mandate as they will face dire consequences.
They must have that paradigm shift to know that the government of the day does not condone certain behaviors. So if you have been doing things in a certain way, just know that part of this was to give them that chance that there must be now a proper shift in kind of our mindset and the way we do things to align them with the new government that is coming into place. Failure to which there will be consequences, definitely.
He further noted that his government will ensure the county citizens benefit from devolution by equitable distribution of resources and service delivery.
We are putting a lot of emphasis on service delivery, efficient use of county resources, looking for new avenues that we can generate revenue so that we give the people of Busia services. Also, we need to rethink, that's what we are saying, that we are spending our efforts on things that are not adding value to the people of Busia.
The governor added that he has formed a task force that will ensure smooth implementation of programs within his first 3 months in office under the banner dubbed 100 Days Rapid Result Initiative. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Frederick Parsayo.
And on matters held, Kenyatta University Teaching Research and Referral Hospital has launched a 400 million shilling research project for throat cancer disease funded by National Institute for Health and Research in collaboration with various stakeholders. The project will initially be conducted in 5 counties where the disease is prevalent.
Researchers say esophageal cancer, commonly known as throat cancer, is the third most common disease in Kenya and causes an estimated 4,400 deaths yearly, having a 100% mortality rate for those infected. Speaking during the launch, Kenyatta University Teaching Research and Referral Hospital Board Chair Professor Olive Mugenda said the 5 counties covered by the project include Kiambu, Meru, Nyeri, Nakuru and Kisii, adding that the researchers will try to determine whether there are environmental factors associated with the infections and the prevalence among certain age groups.
We wanted to know how we can help Kenyans overcome the disease, even treatment, and especially how they can avoid the disease. We got 400 million between this hospital and University of Manchester. Most of that money is going to be spent here. We are going to do this research in the 5 counties. We'll be able to compare are there factors, environmental factors that are causing the disease. Who are the people getting the disease? Are they the older? Are they the younger people? Are there conditions that are there that are making them get the disease compared to other communities? So we'll come with answers, and that is our aim.
Professor George Njoroge, who heads the Kenya Medical Research Institute Scientific Research and Innovation Department, said the National Institute for Health and Research researchers will also look into the risk factors at the selected 5 counties.
We want to do even a more thorough understanding of why it is in those places and exactly identify the reasons why it is there is more prevalence in some of those counties.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Esther Bodo.
Police in Thika, Kiambu County have impounded adulterated oil of unknown value from a residential house in Kangoki Village, Thika Sub-County. The fake oil was packed in jerrycans bearing labels of 2 leading fuel company brands ready to be sold in the local market.
Kiambu County Police Commander Paminas Mchangi Kioi said they acted on a tip-off from members of the public that several vehicles have been accessing and leaving the house in a suspicious manner.
Ofisa yetu wakatembea pale, alafu wakati walifika wakaenda wakakuta kwamba iko kiwanda imewekwa hapo ambaye inatengeneza oil. Wakati waliangalia wakakuta sio oil halali.
The owner of the house is still at large as he escaped using the back door, and police are in hot pursuit of him. Upon searching the premises, they found drums of old oil.
Ukiangalia hapo tuko na oil ya company ya Tota, tuko na oil ya company ya Shell, na mkiangalia yote ni ile counterfeit. Ukiangalia hizo stickers zote unaona zote ni fake. Na pia ukiangalia makato wana repackage. Yote ni fake.
It was alleged that the suspect buys used oil which is later mixed with the chemical substances that is able to separate residual, thus making the oil look like new. Kioi said this amounts to economic sabotage because consumers unknowingly buy these old products thinking they are new, only to incur a big cost later when the vehicle's engines fails. Police ensured they will continue searching for the suspect and ensure action is taken against them.
Tunaendelea na uchunguzi, tumemjua na tutamkamata. Na pia kulingana na ile information tuko naye, hii kiwanda sio moja, iko ingine na yote tutakamata.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Elvis Otieno.
And now across borders, Burundi President Evariste Ndayishimiye reportedly warned that strong people in his cabinet were plotting a coup. However, speculation over who he was alluding to has persisted in Burundi.
Ndayishimiye became president in 2020 after his predecessor Pierre Nkurunziza, who had governed the country for 15 years, died in office. Since independence in 1962, Burundi has had 4 successful coups, several have been foiled, and has had 1 presidential assassination. A failed coup attempt in 2015 plunged the country into deadly unrest. No formal statement was made in response to his comments, and it's unclear to which of the senior authorities he was alluding. Elsewhere, China's number 3 leader Li Zhongshu, a member of the Chinese Communist Party's Politburo Standing Committee, and the country's top legislator, is expected to meet in person with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of an economic forum in Vladivostok on Wednesday. This will be the most senior-level face-to-face meeting between the two countries since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mugo.
And now let's talk business. The August polls disrupted business activity with output and new orders in private businesses, with business confidence dropping to a 16-month low. This is according to the latest market Stanbic Bank Kenya Purchasing Managers Index that reveals that in August there was a renewed drop in employment.
Market Stanbic Bank Kenya Purchasing Managers Index PMI remained below the 50.0 no change mark for the 5th successful month, falling to a reading of 44.2 from a reading of 46.3 in July. The report indicates that the general election had a notable toll on economic activity in August after output fell steeply and at the quickest pace for 16 months, with the construction and manufacturing sectors registering the greatest decline. In addition, new business inflows fell at a sharp and accelerated pace, with the general election, rising inflation and cash flow challenges reportedly leading to a sustained drop in client orders. According to the report, businesses noted that higher prices had forced customers to rein in on spending. Sales continued to decline in all 5 main sectors covered by the survey, with construction recording the sharpest downturn. Election-linked disruption meant that some vendors were unable to deliver inputs. Businesses made fewer purchases of inputs due to deteriorating sales, while inventories were cut for the first time since January amid efforts to avoid dead stock. The sustained fall in demand forced private sector companies to readjust their input purchases, with the overall procurement levels falling for the 4th month running in August, declining to a level last witnessed in April last year. The report indicates that 10% of respondents from the private sector businesses gave a positive forecast for output over the next 12 months amid fears that the inflation-driven downturn in the economy will continue. As such, the outlook was the 3rd worst on record, behind those seen in April and May. With sales dropping and the outlook remaining weak, staff numbers were lowered for the 3rd time in the past 4 months in August, according to the report. Regina Manyara reporting for Lunchtime News.
More than 4 million Kenyans in the northern parts of the country are acutely malnourished and in need of nutrition treatment due to the current drought crisis. The drought is predicted to continue into 2023 as the weatherman foresees a failed rainy season. The United Nations World Food Programme says it is doing what it can to deliver life-saving assistance to more people than ever before as potential disaster looms.
Frequent and prolonged droughts exacerbated by climate change have made survival difficult for communities in the northern region of the country. The drought has also killed over 1.5 million herd of livestock, a source of food and income for mainly the pastoral communities of the region. Furthermore, drought is not the only factor affecting food security of people in this part of Kenya. The economic fallout of the coronavirus pandemic, rising prices, and now the impact of the conflict in Ukraine on food and energy prices threaten to further increase hunger levels. Water sources for people and livestock have become increasingly scarce, forcing families to walk longer distances, herders often trekking up to 30 kilometers to find a water source. This means that food and water prices are soaring to unaffordable levels, resulting in rising malnutrition. According to the National Drought Management Authority, the drought continued to worsen in 20 of the 23 arid and semi-arid land counties. This is attributed to the poor performance of the 2021 long rains, coupled with the previous 3 failed consecutive seasons. The number of people in need of assistance is projected to increase to 4.35 million by October 2022 if the short rains perform below average. Resultantly, the World Food Programme, in partnership with the national and county governments, has committed to responding to the immediate needs of nearly 19,000 drought-affected families through emergency cash and food distributions, while addressing the long-term needs of 370,000 people through resilience initiatives. Ndusamo Kami for Lunchtime News.
Kenya fish export value increased by 25% amid increased export volumes. China was the largest fish exporter to Kenya, with Kenyans consuming fish worth 2 billion shillings from the Far East nation.
China has increased its fish market share in Kenya after its export in the country increased from 13,514 tons in 2020 to 14,847 tons. This represented a year-on-year 10% increase in quantity, with Kenyans consuming fish worth 2 billion shillings from China. Tanzania dethroned South Korea as the second largest exporter of fish to Kenya, after Kenya imported 2.8 million kilos of fish worth 92 million shillings from the East African nation. India, Oman, and the United Arab Emirates were the top 5 main exporters of fish into Kenya, with Kenya importing 620,000, 326,000, and 310,000 kilos of fish respectively. In total, Kenya imported 20 million kilos of fish worth 2.5 billion shillings. Kenya export value also increased by 25% after Kenya exported 11 million kilos of fish worth 3.4 billion shillings. The newest member of the EAC trading bloc was the largest importer of Kenyan fish, importing 6 million kilos of fish, netting local fishermen 175 million shillings last year. Italy was the second and largest EU exporter of fish from Kenya, with the country exporting 996,000 kilos of fish, worth 664 million shillings. China, Spain, and Netherlands rounded off as Kenya's top destination for Kenyan fish. The current annual fish production in Kenya is 400,000 tons, while the annual demand is 600,000 tons. The fish consumption level in Kenya is only 4 kg per capita per year, far below global average of 20 kg. Benson Ruba reporting for Lunchtime News.
Britain is banking on a rebound of the commercial and hospitality industry as the economy recovers, buoyed by tourism and a return to normalcy. Britain Finance Director Charles Njuguna says the firm expects to hit 90% occupancy levels for its property portfolio as economic activities pick up. The firm saw its half-year pre-tax profit increasing 60% to 1.04 billion shillings.
In terms of the property space, I think we're quite bullish around that, given that for this particular tower we have an 82% occupancy level. Brigham Center, which is right next to us, we have an 85% occupancy level, and we have a healthy pipeline to ensure that by the end of this year we're in excess of 90%. So we're quite bullish. This is a grade A building, again very appealing to the clients that you're targeting. So we don't see any risk coming from low occupancy.
Businesses in Mombasa County will soon stop paying multiple licenses for business. The county government is planning to collapse all business licenses into one document to avoid multiple licensing, which is driving the cost of conducting business. Now, Mombasa Governor-elect Abdul Somad Nasir pledged to create a conducive business environment for investing and supporting residents with innovative ideas towards boosting the economic fortune of the coastal city.
operate businesses in Mombasa County, one has to pay different licenses, including for trade, health and fire safety. The county is now looking to collapse them all into a single permit. Speaking during a business community networking dinner with members of the Mombasa business community organized by Kenya National Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Governor-elect Abdul Swamad Nasir said his administration will have policies geared towards creating an enabling business environment to enhance investments and industrialization.
Instead of having so many taxes and levies from the county government, what if we peg one particular figure based on a percentage on sales? And I'm up to that challenge, because I know under my stewardship you will grow. And when you do grow, that means that it is extra income that will be able to serve the people of Mombasa.
The plan for economic revival of Mombasa, the county government will tackle the management of emerging issues related to port services and management of public debt at county level. Business hindrances that include the existence of multiplicity of licenses, bureaucracy, cost and time consuming in process of business licensing applications, permits and other authorizations would also be dealt with. On matters tourism, he promised to push for an open skies policy at the Moi International Airport in Mombasa to provide international tourism in the region. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Terry Njenga.
And now in the sports world, Kenya Ports Authority opposite attacker Enoch Mugeni has officially joined Japanese volleyball side Oita Miyoshi. Now, the Kenyan international is reported to have signed a 3-year deal with the Japanese volleyball top-tier side. Mugeni joins a list of Kenyan internationals who have played for the Japanese outfit, including Prison Kenya assistant coach Dennis Mokure, Jameson Tere and Philip Mayo. Oita Miyoshi features in the Japanese volleyball League 1, the top tier in the country. Mugeni was very instrumental as the Dockers finished second in the National League playoffs to qualify for the Africa Club Championship. Erling Haaland scored a brace as Manchester City opened their Champions League campaign by thrashing Sevilla 4-0. Meanwhile, Kylian Mbappe's brace gave Paris Saint-Germain a 2-1 victory over Juventus, while Chelsea lost 1-0 to Dynamo Zagreb.
Cancelo. Manchester City's new signing Erling Haaland scored a brace to lead City to a comfortable 4-0 win over Sevilla.
The goal monster takes his first Champions League bite of the season. Phil Foden with Cancelo for company.
Foden netted in the 58th minute as Ruben Dias scored the 4th goal in extra time.
Trying to get out of a tight spot. Could shift it onto Grealish. Goes for goal instead. And finds it in spectacular fashion.
Won by Valverde and Real Madrid.
Celtic were ultimately outclassed by holders Real Madrid in the